Hey guys, so we're going to look at multiplying and dividing fractions today. Now hopefully you remember how to do the straight multiplication of fractions. You just multiply straight across the top and straight across the bottom. So 2 times 1 is 2 and 5 times 4 is 20. Then if you can simplify the fraction, just like we did yesterday, you do. We can divide both top and bottom by 2, so we end up with 1/10. All right. So if we have 3 fractions, it's exactly the same. Straight across the top, straight across the bottom. So 3 times 2 is 6, times 2 is 12. And then we have 7 times 5. Hopefully we know our times table. So 7 times 5 is 35. And then 35 times 3 gives us 105. Now, if you can simplify the fractions, you do. If you're not sure, you can do some testing. I'm just going to quickly tell you that I know that I can divide both top and bottom by 3. Here we divided by 2. So 12 divided by 3 is 4, and 105 divided by 3 is 35. But you can do trial and error. If you're not sure, this number is not even, so you can't divide by 2, so you might want to try 3, and then here you could test it, but there's nothing else you can divide by. All right, over here, dividing by fractions. Now yesterday, remember we said that fractions mean division already, so this is really 1 divided by 3, so this is just a bit crazy. This is 1 divided by 3 divided by 2 divided by 7. That's nuts. We don't want to do that. That doesn't make a lot of sense. So what we're going to do is use a lovely technique called flip and multiply. So we're going to flip this one upside down only. We're not going to touch the first one. We're going to leave it alone. We're going to multiply and flip that upside down. And then just like before, straight across the top, straight across the bottom. 1 times 7 is 7. 3 times 2 is 6. Now this is an improper fraction, obviously, because the top number's bigger, but that's fine. We're happy to leave it like that. You don't need to turn it back into a mixed number. This is fine as it is. All right, same thing here. Now that we've got 3, we still need to work out this bit because we don't want to divide by fractions. So 2/9 times 1/2 times 7 over 1, right? I'm going to flip this and multiply instead. Then I multiply straight across the top, straight across the bottom. 2 times 1 is 2, times 7 is 14, 9 times 2 is 18, times 1 is 18. Then they're both even numbers, so I'm going to divide them both by 2. So I get 7 over 9, and I can't do anything else, so that's all I've got. All right, let's look at some with mixed numbers. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn this into an improper fraction. I don't want to leave it like this. So how many thirds are in 1? Well, 3, right? So 3/3 is equal to 1, 5/5 is equal to 1, 7/7 is equal to 1. Hopefully we remember all of that. So then there are 3/3 in 1, plus I've got another 2, so then I have 5/3. Then what I'm going to do is do the same thing to that. So 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. But again, I don't want to divide fractions, so I'm going to flip and multiply. So 5/3 times 2/7. I'm going to flip it instead. And then I multiply straight across the top, 10, 21. And I can't simplify that any further. So now I'm going to do exactly the same thing to this. So this one doesn't need changing. This one does. So 1 times 5 is 5. There are 5/5 in 1 plus 2. And same thing with this. I'm going to turn it into ninths. So 3 lots of 9 is 27 plus 2 is 29. And then I'm going to flip this upside down. So 4/7 times 7/5 times 9 over 29. Now I'm going to get some big numbers here, but that's okay. So 4 times 7 is 28, and then I times it by 9, which gives me 252. You can just do some, if you've got 28 times 9, you can do that sort of stuff. Then 7 times 5 is 35, times by 29. Now this is obviously going to be a giant number, so 1,015. So then I want to see if I can simplify this any further. I can, and again, you can just do trial and error to get this. But what I'm going to do is say I'm going to divide them both by 7. And that would take you a bit of effort to figure that out. You know that you can't divide them both by 2 because this is obviously not even. You could try dividing them by 3, by 4, 5 isn't going to work because this ends in a 2. Try 6, try 7, you'll end up finding the answer. So you should get 36 over 145. And that is your final answer. So these are big numbers. I don't think the book is giving you giant numbers like this. It's more the process that I want you to remember. So just remember this rule, flip and multiply. And then if you have mixed numbers, you have to turn them into improper fractions first. Then you can do your multiplication. All right, good luck.